Wake up in the morning feeling good right now. I know it, where my joy come from. It's the morning, it's the morning.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode. I want to thank y'all for checking me out. I hope the last episode was as eye-opening for you as it was for me. Learning to embrace truth. Like, man, okay, so wait, I forgot. We gotta. I ain't forget. I want to talk about it, but we gotta stay true to how to properly do this. So I don't know where you are, if you're at home or on the go. Let's breathe for a little bit, and then we'll get to it. Here we go. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more time, breathe in and out. All right. Antonio Brown. Yes, I said it. Antonio Brown. I watched an episode yesterday where he talked about what happened when he walked off the field the other day. And I will say this is about to be controversial, but at the same time, it's like, that's what I've been needing. I respect Antonio Brown so much more now. It's not that I didn't, I've always respected him. I realized that when a person is great at something, they're always under the microscope for every single thing that they do. But in all reality, they act the same way that most people act. It's just that some people don't have the same platform. But let me tell you something this man said. He said the problem is we're too involved into everybody else's life and we're not living in our truth. We're not living in our own happiness. And remember, just the last episode, I kept talking about just happiness and how a lot of times we spend our lives trying to people please. They call it playing politics or what have you. But I appreciated Antonio Brown so much because living in the moment and being truthful about who you are is what's gonna attract the same energy to you. Like, we spend so much time trying to people please and do all the things necessary to make sure we stay in good graces with people, but in our reality, we should be focusing on literally like, what about right now? What about today that's gonna help me set me up for a better tomorrow? And honestly, if you're not truthful with yourself and you're not happy with yourself, we spend the time fighting ourselves every single day. And I've noticed, like when I sat down after that interview that I saw, it was on, I think it was called like Full Crew Podcast or something, but basically he got the first podcast of Antonio Brown, after that whole situation happened. And I watched the full hour and a half. I'm just gonna be honest. I sat down because I wanted to appreciate, I wanted to see and also understand, what's his perspective. People hate him so much, but he's so good at what he does that anytime he does something that seems like he's acting out or expressing himself, he's hated. But at the end of the day, that's what it should be about, self-expression. When do we stop having fun imagining doing what we feel like doing? They say, oh, you get grown, some stuff got to stop, but not really. All right. If you want to act like a kid your whole life, it is what it is. Like, a lot of people make careers based off being themselves, and that's how it should be. Now, I can go in depth about it, but I just recommend you watch it for yourself. But basically it boils down to this. You got to eventually get around people who match your energy. He called it the kumbaya moment. Can't ever let people take you out your character. You can't let people. My grandma told me all the time, don't let nobody steal your joy. And I never really understood that concept. And I always, after something happens to me, I always end up going back and thinking about how I responded to that and how I acted. Like, why was I angry about it? And at the end of the day, it really boils down to you feel like somebody treated you wrong simply because you feel like you deserve more. But now at the end of the day, it's just like some people just really don't understand how they're treating other people. And you got to either what does your happiness play in it? Like, if you don't feel like these people treat you right, instead of vocally expressing it to them, you act. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it to say that much the right way, because you can always tell people that they're offending you, but like that person ain't right with themselves. It could very well just be an ego trip while they feel like they need to be, superior over everybody around them. I just had a case like this past weekend where I ain't gonna lie, I kind of flipped out. I didn't really go in. I ain't cuss nobody out or nothing like that, but I just was on some. My demeanor was definitely on some. You don't respect me enough, so I just need to be out. You know what I mean? Dude asked me. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm playing this gig, and honestly, the gig didn't pay enough, but I kind of liked the spot. And dude been kind of somebody been asking me to play for a while, and it's kind of like I'm already in the area anyway, so might as well just play the gig. The food smack, but they tell me before the last set, place your order now, because it's a lot of people ordering and blah blah. We might run out of food, and I'm sitting here thinking in my head, okay, that's dope, because since it's not paying enough, at least you want to make sure we get fed well and blah blah. Well, anyway, gig over with. I done waited 35, 40 minutes for my plate that I ordered, all only to find out that they never put the order in. Now, mind you, it ain't paying enough, so at that point, like, I'm just ready to go. I ain't really trying to hang out like that. So then the dude pulled me back in the back, like, well, what you want? And I'm like, man, I already placed the order. Like, if I got to place the order now, that means I'm about to wait another 20 minutes. And at that point, like, he kept going, oh, well, you ain't listening to me. I'm asking you what you want now. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I've already ordered. So if it's not ready, then don't worry about it. And he kept going. Basically, he wasn't trying to hear my side, and I wasn't trying to hear his side. Who's right, who's wrong? Probably both of us. But at the end of the day, it was more about, like, I felt like I was honestly, I was just being myself. Like, I feel like you didn't value my time enough, and you just feel like I just need to go with the flow. And you know what, you probably right. I probably could have just chilled out and not let him take me out of my element, because I just basically ended up just walking out while he was in the middle of continuing to ask me what you want, or you're not listening to what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, man, I'm leaving. I said it like 3 times, and he just kept going. So I just left. And I found myself just reevaluating the situation, but then, like, I'm just kind of like, but no, like, that's just kind of how I felt in the moment. And you got to learn that. I feel like he has to learn that it's a respect thing for me. Like, if you know you ain't paying well, I feel like you got to at least still do your best to take care of the people that's helping your business. So, saying all that to say, I'm learning how to not let people take me out of my element, because I'm just the type that's always so vocal about myself. But at the same time, I want to be myself. But I don't want to be the person who becomes mad about something or so responsible to what you did. It's just more so about finding a different way to express myself. And I will. Again, I might just be rambling. It might not make sense to you. And I already know your perspective is different from mine. You can put it in the comments, though. Let me know how you would handle stuff like that. But anyway, being true to yourself, finding your true happiness. And that is definitely the key ingredient to self-discovery for me. Like I said, I'm on a self-discovery journey. So finding my true happiness and my true in the moment moments. And don't alter that for nobody. Don't alter how you are. People got to meet you where you are, because at some point, you just being a blanket. You're going to start adjusting yourself depending. I'm going to tell you, I watched Marshawn Lynch. And that was also another, like, man, forget it. He was always himself through everything. He a hood dude. He always was a hood dude, but at the same time, you could tell he's a good dude. But it just, he was not finna change and be all, yes sir, no sir. No, he was just who he was the entire career, and people hated him for it. But at the same time, no, it's him. So he was also loved for remaining himself. I have found myself guilty of oh, but just because of a dollar amount of a certain situation, I'm going to change up my lingo or change up this and change up that. It's just like, nah, man, get in the habit of being comfortable in your own skin, and the people that you're supposed to work with and people you're supposed to be around, they will be there. Everybody else can go kick rocks. That might sound like, oh, but you burning bridges. You know, never have before, man. I've always been so make sure I'm in good graces with everybody. That ain't what life is about. Life is about truly being yourself and being happy with who you are. And the people that are supposed to be here, the things that are supposed to come your way will come your way. At the end of the day, it's about having a plan. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. So simply that. Antonio Brown, Marshawn Lynch, I'm so grateful for you. You ain't even sponsored this episode, but you basically did. No excuses, y'all. Health is wealth.